Hello everyone and welcome to Financial Literacy Films. Today I will be discussing college application and standardized test costs. We all know that for most, college tuition is a huge expense. However, until I began the college application process, I didn't realize how much it costs just to apply to colleges. First off, let's begin with the cost of applying to colleges themselves. There are 3 avenues you can take to submit your application, each depending on the specific college you are applying to. The Common App, the Coalition App, and what I like to call the other option, which means colleges are doing their own thing and have their own format for their application. In 2016, the average cost of applying to a school through the Common App was $42. However, highly selective colleges usually cost between $75 and $90. For example, if you're submitting your application to Duke University, it will cost $85, and submitting it to Stanford University will cost $90. Since the applications to highly selective schools tend to be more expensive, one way to save money during this process is to limit the number of reach schools you are applying to. In fact, try to limit the number of colleges you are applying to in general. Of course, you want options and want to ensure an acceptance somewhere, but make sure you would actually attend every college you're applying to. The key is to do thorough research on your selected college ahead of time to make sure they fit all of your personal criteria. For low-income families, there is a fee waiver available for the Common App. You must meet one of the following to indicate economic need. Received or are eligible to receive an ACT or SAT testing fee waiver, enrolled in or eligible to participate in the federal free or reduced price lunch program, annual family income falls within the income eligibility guidelines set by the USDA Food and Nutrition Service, enrolled in a federal, state, or local program that aids students from low-income families, family receives public assistance, live in a federally subsidized public housing, a foster home, or are homeless, ward of the state or an orphan, or can provide a supporting statement from a school official, college access counselor, financial aid officer, or community leader. The Coalition is an option similar to the Common App, but with different formatting. Choose whatever option works best for you. If a college has its own application, then it will most likely have its own standards for a fee waiver, but they will somewhat align with the Common App guidelines. Most colleges require you to take the SAT or the ACT to demonstrate your standardized testing ability. Both of these tests, of course, cost money to take. To take the SAT, it costs $46, but it rises to $60 to take it with the essay, which is required by some of the more competitive colleges. If you register late, another $29 is added to the bill, so make sure to pay attention to registration deadlines and figure out when you want to take your test ahead of time. Changing your test date, test center, or test type is also an additional $29. Once you have taken the test, you have to send your scores to the colleges you want to receive them. College Board includes 4 free score reports with your registration, but this is only offered up to 9 days after your test date. The problem with this is that to be able to claim these free score reports, you have to send your scores blindly, meaning you won't know what your scores are before you send them. If you only plan on taking the SAT once and are confident in your test, then I would recommend taking advantage of this money-saving opportunity. If not, it may be better to wait and send your score before committing to send them to certain colleges. It costs $12 for each college you send your scores to. The criteria to receive an SAT fee waiver is the same as the criteria to receive a fee waiver for your Common App colleges. To take the ACT, on the other hand, it costs $46 without writing and $62.50 with writing, so it's a little bit more expensive than the SAT, but not by much. Changing your test date will cost you $25, and changing your test center will cost you $26. It costs the same amount to send your ACT scores to colleges as it does the SAT, $12 per test for each college. The ACT also has fee waivers available. Prepping for the ACT and SAT can be really expensive too. However, there are some great free resources available that you should take advantage of. When I prepped for the SAT, I used Khan Academy, which is a free online resource. It tailors the experience to you, creating a personalized schedule for you and keeping track of the types of questions you missed. I'll put a link to that website in the description. If you have trouble studying content online and prefer physical material, I would recommend checking out prep books from your local library. Most public libraries carry SAT and ACT prep books. This way you can use the book for a few weeks of free study time without having to buy a brand new book. And that's how you cash a break. A few of the very competitive colleges will require SAT subject tests, but most will just list it as recommended or not mention them at all. These tests are supplementary and give you the opportunity to demonstrate mastery of a particular course. The registration fee for one day of testing is $26. On this one day, you can take up to 3 subject tests, each costing an additional $21. There is an exception to this rule, however. Language tests with listening will cost $26. The guidelines for fee waivers are the same as those for the SAT because it's just a branch of SAT testing. Prep books for specific SAT subject tests vary depending on the library. The final type of test I'll be talking about is advanced placement testing. If you take an AP course during the year, which is great because it shows rigor in your coursework and you're able to challenge yourself with more advanced work, then you will have the option to take the AP test for that subject matter in May. Doing well on that test means that you can receive college credit for that course, and scores needed vary depending on the college you are sending them to. Also, you can send AP scores to colleges for them to consider during the admissions process, and if you do well, it may help you in that process. Each exam costs $94, which seems like a steep price, but it can help you save money in college by reducing the number of required courses that you have to take. To help low-income families, there is a fee reduction option, which would bring the cost down to $53. The eligibility for an AP exam reduction changes depending on if your school is part of something called the Community Eligibility Provision, CEP, or not. The primary criteria for schools and districts participating in community eligibility is your family's income is at or below 185% of the poverty level issued annually by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, or you are directly certified without application for free school meals because you are in foster care or Head Start, or homeless or migrant, or living in households that receive SNAP/food stamps, TANF cash assistance, or the Food Distribution on Indian Reservation benefits. The primary criteria for schools and districts not participating in the community eligibility is similar to schools participating in CEP, except the need is proved through enrollment in or eligibility to participate in the federal free or reduced price lunch program. I know that was a lot of information for one video, but I hope some of it sank in. If not, I'll be putting the timestamps for the different portions of the video below in the description so you can jump to which part you need. That's all for today on Financial Literacy Films. Have a good one, and remember how lit finance can be.
That looks cool.
Okay.